While most of the world is caught in a cycle of one-click ordering, credit card debt, and the constant dopamine chase of the next new thing, there is a group of people who feel a genuine physical pang of anxiety at the thought of hitting buy. To an outsider, they might look cheap or stingy, but for them, a growing bank account isn't about greed. It's the only thing that makes them feel safe. If you've ever felt a wave of guilt after buying something you actually needed, or if you find yourself obsessively checking your balance even though you know you have enough, stay with me. Because what's happening in your brain has nothing to do with being bad at enjoying life. In fact, according to behavioral finance, your mind is running a high-level survival program that most people simply don't have. Neuroscience shows that for tightwads, a literal term used in psychological research, the pain of paying is not a metaphor. When you spend money, your insula, the same part of the brain that processes physical pain, lights up like a Christmas tree. While others get a dopamine hit from shopping, you get a literal threat signal. You aren't boring. You are biologically wired to prioritize security over temporary pleasure. For thousands of years, having extra resources meant the difference between surviving a winter or starving. In the modern world, this survivalist logic has been rebranded as a disorder, but it's actually an evolutionary advantage. But why do you feel this way while your neighbor is happy to lease a car they can't afford? It comes down to what psychologists call your money script, the invisible blueprint your brain uses to define what wealth actually means. People who are terrified of spending often suffer from something called anticipatory regret. Most people feel regret after a bad purchase. Your brain, however, simulates the regret before the purchase even happens. Your prefrontal cortex is so efficient at calculating future risks that it treats a $50 dinner as a potential threat to your retirement. This isn't a glitch, it's a highly developed protective mechanism. Notice how spenders say, "I bought this," but savers say, "We have this in the bank." This switch to collective or abstract language shows that for you, money isn't a tool for self-expression. It's a tool for autonomy. You don't need external symbols to feel successful. Your self-esteem is stable, anchored by the numbers in your account rather than the labels on your clothes. If you don't spend on yourself, where does that energy go? Research suggests that frugal individuals often score higher on long-term empathy measures. You aren't selfish. You are just allocating your care toward future you or the security of your family. You are getting your emotional highs from the feeling of freedom and tranquility rather than the thrill of the transaction. For some, this fear of spending is a defense mechanism. Maybe you grew up in a household where money was synonymous with arguments. Maybe you saw a parent lose everything. Your brain learned that a zero balance equals danger. Your stinginess is actually a trauma response that kept you safe in the past. It's a valid strategy for navigating an unpredictable world. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi found that flow states, those moments of complete absorption, can be achieved through building things, not just buying them. While others spend 3 hours shopping for things they don't need, you are engaged in the flow of your own life, your own projects, and your own growth. There is something quietly radical about being content with what you already have. So, what does all this mean? If you're terrified of spending, you aren't broken or missing out. Your brain's reward system, your survival instincts, and your empathy are simply calibrated differently. The next time someone calls you frugal, remember, you aren't boring. You're playing a much longer game than everyone else. One where the stakes aren't just a new gadget, but your ultimate freedom. If this resonated with you, you're probably going to love why your brain treats a $5 coffee differently than a $500 car repair, and why that specific cognitive bias might be the secret to building real wealth. Click this video to find out why your brain's math doesn't always add up.